How bad do you want a PS5 Slim? Did Wolverine just get delayed? Is Sony dropping a surprise at the Game Awards? How's it going, everyone? And welcome to PSReady. This is the Not podcast that I do with Ray every single week, split across two channels, Xbox Ready and PSReady. Today, Ray has hit 100,000 subs on Xbox.
Hey.
Okay, enough about that. Let's talk about this Iron Man PS5. It's not really an Iron Man PS5. It's like a weird third-party plate you can get on Amazon for $38, and it comes in three colors, red, black, and white.
These are the coolest plates that I've seen so far.
Like,
I mean, first party, whatever. The ones without that were smoother and rounder, I thought were pretty cool.
Oh, like the D-brand Dark Plates 2.0?
Yes. I almost bought one. I think it was for early Black Friday, but I almost bought some that were kind of like those, but had RGB on them and like a fan.
Oh, I saw those.
But then I was like, I don't know. I'll just stick with what I got.
So these ones instantly, just because of the red, like the Cosmic Red, it's like totally ripped off from Sony. Their version of red is just Cosmic Red, but it looks like Iron Man. Like it's got those speed lines. It also kind of reminds me of the new Corvette.
Interesting. I was kind of thinking like Forerunner technology from Halo, like that kind of like when you go into like the Halo ring.
Yeah, so these are $38, which honestly is cheaper than Sony's official plates, and it's cheaper than the Dark Plates 2.0. Out of all the third-party plates I've seen, this one is probably my favorite. I don't know if I'm going to buy a pair, but like if they want to send them over, we'll check them out.
I would buy the black ones. Honestly, I might pick those up.
Yeah,
because they would go with the rest of my setup for sure. The white is kind of sticking out with the white fins right now.
Yeah.
Black would go very neatly with what I have going on with my desk at the moment.
I cannot move my PS5 from the TV cabinet it is in. It is a permanent fixture of this TV cabinet. So I will not be buying any plates. If I get a PS5 Slim, it's going to go right in there, right next to my PS5 original. I'm just going to move the plugs over because it's a TV cabinet with a built-in PS5 at this point, because it fits way too perfectly and I don't want to snap the plates off. So I'll link these down in the description if you want to pick them up. I just thought they were kind of cool, so I figured I'd let you guys know about them. Now, next week, Ray and I will be going to the Game Awards.
Yeah, we're going to go and have a great time celebrating video games. I personally can't wait. I'm super excited because it's like, damn, that's a huge deal for me because I'm like kind of new to the whole YouTube scene. You know, I've kind of been in and out of content creation and voice acting and performance and things like that. But I said it on my channel a year ago, I was like a freaking cashier, dude. And now I'm going to be surrounded by all these people that I've been looking up to and following for so many years. It's surreal.
So the Game Awards, usually what my friends and I would do when I lived in Michigan is we would get a fifth of Tito's and a 12-pack of Mountain Dew. We would make vodka Mountain Dews and eat Doritos and pizza and just chow down, and it was a lot of fun. Final Fantasy 16 is allegedly going to be there. That game's coming early next year. It might be a prime time to announce the release date of this highly anticipated timed PS5 exclusive.
I feel like people are back and forth on whether or not we're going to see anything major revealed from either platform holder or publishers at the Game Awards. This was a story on the Xbox side where Jess Corden was talking about on his podcast with Randall Thor. He's kind of tempering his expectations because obviously we're in the middle of Microsoft trying to acquire Activision Blizzard, and both companies are trying to make themselves look smaller, like not as, like they're trying to downplay themselves. So he was theorizing that Xbox, he wasn't sure whether or not they were going to show off some stuff on them.
Diablo 4 release date?
Or maybe an update on Starfield, but he's not sure because they're in the middle of trying to be like, oh, we're not that great. And so having this blowout at the Game Awards being like, look at all the stuff you can only play on Xbox, or look at all the stuff you can only play on PlayStation, where people are kind of like, they don't really know because they still want to make themselves look smaller than they are to these regulators.
I also think we'll probably maybe see something on the Last of Us TV show or the multiplayer game, maybe,
100%.
Or maybe a director's cut for The Last of Us Part 2. Because at the Summer Games Fest, we saw that Last of Us Part 1 got announced.
Yeah, the TV show for sure.
Yeah.
Right, the TV show for sure, because that's just around the corner. And I mean, it's great, like award show fodder. And it's not very controversial because it's like, you know, kind of removed from the video game side of things. Inspired by video games, of course, but yeah, prestigious in its own way.
Right.
Great, you know, great fodder for all fans of video games to enjoy, because it's not like you don't need a PlayStation to watch the freaking Last of Us TV show. You don't need like any of the extra stuff. I feel like that's a pretty solid guess. Maybe concrete news on that remake that they're doing for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I bet that'll be announced. I was just gonna say, or maybe the director's cut or something of Horizon Forbidden West. Like maybe they're gonna do a DLC. I don't know, like an expansion.
At first, I was like, I don't know if Zero Dawn needs a remake. It's only been 5 years, and then I started replaying it after I beat God of War Ragnarok, and I was like, you know what? Maybe they should do it just to update these facial animations. It's like they hadn't quite figured it out. Like by the time like Spider-Man rolled around or God of War 2018 rolled around, and you could tell that they were still trying to figure out the facial animation stuff, because it's like they're constantly twitching. I'm like, oh, this is unsettling. And then they'll be saying something like terrible, like, oh my God, I'm dying, but they're smiling the whole time. They're like, oh my gosh, you have to help find my sister.
Yeah,
I'm worried about that. Like, dude, what is this?
It's weird. Horizon is like the franchise Sony's going so all in on, because I feel like no one really talks about it all that much. Like Horizon Forbidden West came out earlier this year, and people just kind of like let it come and go because it came around Elden Ring.
Yeah, for sure.
They're doing a TV show. They're allegedly doing some type of multiplayer MMO. They're doing this remake. Like they really want Horizon to catch on. Yeah, the VR game. So yeah, I bet we'll probably see that remake announced. Oh, they could announce the PC release date for The Last of Us Part 1. Because they said it's coming to PC soon.
Like, how many times can we sell Last of Us?
I will buy it again. It is the Skyrim of my lifetime. Like I will buy it on anything it's release time.
Like we got that OG version, that remaster, that remake, and now the PC. Let's go.
So also speaking of next gen games, Forspoken, this game that to me, just going to be real, it does not look very good. The graphics are cool. The open world is cool. The combat's fine. That Marvel style writing is just grating, and I don't like it. I'm like, but one of the cooler things we saw about the game today is that the fast travel in this open world game, because it's a next gen only game, is going to be instant. Like you pull up the map, you pick a spot on the like map, and then it's like literally just you're there.
Like you open up a portal and it's like boom, I'm there.
Like by the time the map closes, you are fast traveled.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
Is there like going to be a specific animation that accompanies that? Kind of like what we saw with the new Ratchet and Clank game, or not new, but yeah, cool. It's like you open up the portal, it's like.
I wish the whole game had that. I wish it wasn't in like tethered spots where you like saw the portal already open and then you jump through it and it's like a different world. I wish the game allowed you to do that at any point, and it seems like this is something like that kind of.
That's really refreshing, especially after, like I said, I beat God of War Ragnarok, where you had to use specific gates to fast travel to other worlds. I'm like, ugh.
They should have just had an animation where like you open up the map, right, and then you pick a mystic gateway, and then he opens one. Yeah. Like right in front of him. Because you go into it, like I'm in the end game and I'm trying to finish up the platinum, right? You go into this mystic gateway and then it's like you're there for literally 2 seconds and the door spawns on the PS5.
The only point that it serves was if there was dialogue to be shown off, something that was pertinent to either the character or the story. And that was the only reason why they did it, because then you see that you enter in later stages of the game when you're done with the story and you're just hunting achievements or trophies, I should say. Sorry, my little Xbox side showed. Like you step in and then you take 2 steps and then the other gate opens. So it's like, okay, like I didn't really need this.
I know, it's super weird. And it's even worse in God of War 2018. But my favorite thing in God of War Ragnarok, everyone should do this. Here's a hot tip. As soon as you beat the game, go to Sindri's house and ring the wind chime to talk to that super annoying squirrel. And he will give you a bag of Yggdrasil seeds that just unlock every gateway. Oh. So even if you missed any of them and you weren't able to get to an area, you can just use those seeds to unlock the gateway and fast travel there. I remember with Spider-Man Remastered, they had to get rid of the animation you would see where Spider-Man sits on the subway when you fast travel. Like they made that an option where if you liked that and you missed that, you could include that back in the PS5 version because the loading was so quick. And then it's kind of just been like, not really like that. Like Returnal was instant loading, and then Deathloop had not instant. I don't know. I hope we see more games like that, but it looks like we're going to be waiting a while to see more next-gen exclusives, because if this report from Tom Henderson is to be believed, we will not see Wolverine until at least 2024, most likely in 2025.
That's kind of discouraging because, like you were saying, it could have been cool to see Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 released in 2023. That one match up with their kind of schedule of like 2 to 3 AAA games. But yeah, it is kind of interesting because we haven't really seen anything new about about Wolverine, since they teased Logan sitting in the bar and he has the beer and then he brings out the claws and stuff. But we really have no other details about that. And I feel like that's a little strange. Not saying that it's sus or anything, because Insomniac Games are going to do what they do and they produce good games and good products. But yeah, I mean, kind of seeming like 2024 might be a little bit more reasonable versus next year.
I don't know. Wolverine, they better get that right. I don't need any of this Marvel humor, like, oh, he's right behind me, isn't he? And stuff like that in a Wolverine game. I want to just cut dudes in half. If it's not...
It's got to be rated M.
Yeah. It's got to be like borderline adults only. Like the Wolverine for X-Men Origins Wolverine, the movie game was so good. You start off in freaking Vietnam.
Oh, yeah. That was actually dope. Yeah.
You're running across a rope bridge, just like cutting guys into pieces. And then the healing factor was super cool. You like saw the battle damage. They got to get all that like down.
Yeah, it better be. You know how in God of War you can rip off the jaw of a freaking they're not werewolves, but they're called the wolvers. Yeah, it's got to be something like that where it's like I impale some guy with my freaking claws and then like eviscerate him, and it's like gore going crazy. They got to do something like that, and it is interesting because it's like, is it going to be an open world situation like we saw with Spider-Man? How would traversal work with that? Because Spider-Man, easy, right? You swing around, you can get places super, super quick. Wolverine doesn't really have something like that. He's just like a dude with these claws and this healing factor, but with a jump.
Yeah, I feel like Wolverine can jump really high.
Like, would he have like a Wolverine car, like an X-Men sponsored car or something like that?
He has a motorcycle. He drives a motorcycle.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like traversing around. Where is this even going to be set? Like in Vancouver? Like is he Canadian? Wolverine,
Colorado?
Like we've seen in some of the, or like he's in the woods or something. Or is it going to be a more deliberate experience, like levels, different maps, but more linear?
I don't know. We'll have to find out in 2024 or 2025. But one thing's for certain, you'll be playing this on your PS5 Slim. Maybe even your PS5 Pro. Look, the hype for the PS5 Slim has started. There have been so many videos over the past few weeks where people are generating PS5 Slim boxes, PS5 Slim consoles. But the newest one that I found basically takes the concept that we've heard rumors about from Insider Gaming, where it's going to be one streamlined model of PlayStation 5 that Sony is making, but you'll be able to get it with an included detachable disc drive or without it. And then the faceplate will kind of go over that.
So are they leaving behind the base model entirely?
Well, every model is going to be the base model, but you'll be able to pay extra to buy one with the disc drive included, or you'll be able to just pay less up front, get the digital version only, and then buy the disc drive later if you want it.
But they'll all be Slims.
Yeah, like coming off the production line, Slims.
Everything's going to be Slims.
Yeah,
so
no disc drives. Yeah, but it's going to look the same, apparently. It's not going to be really a slim console.
Interesting.
If these rumors are to be believed. I don't know. But yeah, people
so the disc drive, is it going to be an external component, do you think? Or is it going to be something that you can like
work
into the fins? Or
so the way the disc drive is supposed to work is like you'll take this side plate off, like the right side plate that has the disc drive thing, and then you'll pop on, like there'll be an attachment on the side of the, like inside the faceplate, and then there'll be like a little hole in it where you slip through a USB-C cord and plug it into the new port on the back, and then you pop back on the disc drive plate.
Will there be an option if you just bought digital and you change your mind later? You're like, actually, you can buy it later on?
And it'll probably come with a new plate that you need.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that seems like how they should have done it to begin with, honestly. But it's kind of disappointing that they've gone through so much effort to shrink down the motherboard to about half the size, and it doesn't look like they're going to make the console any smaller.
Well, we don't know. We're just going off of like renders and like fan edits.
Well, it's this new website that's made by, I think Tom Henderson is one of the people. It's called Insider Gaming, and they basically are like, it's like a game news website it's really good. Like they have a lot of great leaks and stuff from like Call of Duty. They leak DMZ. They leak like a bunch of stuff, but they do it like pretty close to the stuff actually coming out, so it's not really that big of a deal. It's just basically like a website where all these people can share their scoops. And they've been talking about this PS5 Slim for so long that even this website T3, I think it was, they've made a AI generated version of what the description says the new PS5 is going to look like. But they took it one step further. They made it smaller. It's got the rounded edges. It's like, it's cool. It's just, it's not what we've heard Sony is going with for this console. And then later on, we'll get the PS5 Pro, which will probably look different.